If you're looking to get that filmic, organic look in your footage and you're not using one of these, you might just be missing out. My name is Brendan, and today we're going to be talking about mist filters. I've been making video for a little while, and I've struggled with my videos looking really amateur. Amateur in the way that they look very digital, very contrasty, kind of like they're taken on a cell phone or a bad drone camera. And I've always wanted to get that more professional look out of my images. And this is probably due to a number of problems. I didn't really understand how to shape lighting at the time, and I didn't really even know what soft light was. I started looking around online to figure out different things I could do to get the look I was going for. A big part of that was learning about shaping lighting, but I stumbled across mist filters. I'd never used one before. I've only heard of them relatively recently in my filmmaking career, believe it or not. I know, I live under a rock. But I decided to give them a try, and now I'm like, how was I making videos without these this whole time? What does a mist filter do? Well, depending on the filter, it's going to do a few different things. Generally speaking, most of them will reduce the contrast in the image a little bit. They will lift the shadows up a little bit, and they will also smooth out the highlights. They will also reduce the sharpness slightly, depending on which one you get and what strength you get. A lot of times they reduce that digital sharpness, and most importantly to me, they add some halation to the image. What is halation? That is the glow you see around light sources, like the light source back here behind me. There should be, in my mind, when I look at something like that in a video or in a photo, I want to see a little bit of that glow to give that light a little bit of life to it, make it feel more filmic, more organic, more natural. So I have 3 filter options available to me for my main camera here. The first one I ended up getting is the Moment CineBloom. I opted for the 5%. This is their lowest or their most subtle amount of mist that they offer. They have the 10% and I think a 20% as well. But this is the most subtle. Now I think it is very easy to overdo this look and get one of those very glowy images, kind of like a 90s soap opera or like Touched by an Angel, if you guys ever watched that show. Very glowy and just kind of dreamy. And that's not necessarily the look I'm going for. I just want to soften the image to take that digital edge off a little bit, and then I want to add a little bit of halation to my light sources. That is a big thing for me. So this one has worked for me. This is the first one I started with because it is relatively cost effective and it's a pretty good quality one. I did find that after a while, there are some circumstances where it kind of reduces the contrast a little too much. The shadows get lifted a little too much, but you can always just add more contrast in post. So that's the Moment CineBloom. So the second filter I actually got 2 sets of filters, a set of filters for my drone and another filter for my camera. And that was the McKinnon VND Mist Edition II. I've already done a video on this, but this is a variable ND with mist in it as well. I ended up getting a similar filter for my drone, and that is the Freewell VND Mist Edition. And this has really improved my drone footage. You have to have an ND filter on your drone, period. The last mist filter I just picked up is the Tiffen Glimmer Glass 1. Now, so far, this is probably my favorite one out of all of them. It has a little bit more contrast than the Moment, and at least it seems to me like it may have the same or a little bit more halation to it than the Moment CineBloom 5%. So I really do like this one. I find that it worked well for me so far, and I'll probably end up with a collection of a couple more of these as time goes on. So if you are looking for that more natural, organic look, I would definitely recommend checking out a mist filter, doing some research, and figuring out which one is right for you. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.